Before we begin, I want you to stop what you're doing for just a moment and take a close look at your kitchen. Open your refrigerator. Think about the fruits you have inside right now. The grapes you've been snacking on. The ripe mango waiting for breakfast. The watermelon sitting on the shelf. The raisins tucked away in the pantry because someone told you they were healthier than candy. Now let me ask you a question that may completely change the way you think about healthy eating after 60. What if some of the fruits you've trusted for years are causing your blood sugar to rise faster than the desserts you've spent years trying to avoid? What if the very foods you've been eating to protect your health are quietly making it harder for your body to control glucose, increasing inflammation, encouraging fat storage, and pushing you closer to diabetes without you even realizing it? If you're over 60, this may be one of the most important conversations you'll hear this year. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Every week, we share science-based health strategies specifically designed for older adults who want to protect their memory, heart, blood sugar, mobility, and independence. If healthy aging matters to you, join our community today. Now let's get started. For decades, we've been told that fruit is always healthy. Nutrition experts tell us to eat more fruit. Food pyramids tell us to eat more fruit. Doctors tell us to choose fruit instead of sweets. And for many younger adults with healthy insulin sensitivity, that advice is often reasonable. But here's what almost nobody explains. The body of a 65-year-old processes sugar very differently than the body of a 35-year-old. As we age, insulin sensitivity naturally declines. Muscle mass gradually decreases. The liver becomes less efficient at processing large amounts of fructose. Together, these changes create the perfect storm for blood sugar problems. The fruit hasn't changed. Your metabolism has. That's why some fruits that appear perfectly healthy on the surface can create surprisingly large glucose spikes in older adults. And the consequences aren't limited to diabetes. Elevated blood sugar has been linked to increased inflammation, cardiovascular disease, cognitive decline, nerve damage, kidney stress, fatigue, and accelerated aging. This isn't simply about avoiding sweets. It's about protecting your long-term health. Let me tell you about someone I'll call Gerald. Gerald was 68 years old. He was retired, active, and genuinely committed to improving his health. 2 years earlier, he had stopped drinking soda entirely. He rarely ate fast food. He walked several miles every week. He believed he was doing everything right. Yet during a routine medical appointment, his doctor delivered unexpected news. His blood sugar was climbing. His triglycerides were elevated. His A1C had entered the type 2 diabetes range. Gerald was shocked. He couldn't understand what had gone wrong. He wasn't eating candy. He wasn't drinking sugary beverages. He wasn't living on desserts. But when we reviewed his daily eating habits, a pattern quickly appeared. Every morning he started his day with a large bowl of tropical fruit. Mangoes, pineapple, grapes, sometimes bananas. Mid-morning he drank a large glass of orange juice. At lunch he often enjoyed raisins because he believed they were a healthy source of minerals and fiber. In the afternoon, he snacked on grapes. After dinner, he treated himself to 2 or 3 medjool dates because he had read they were a natural alternative to processed sugar. Gerald believed he had replaced unhealthy foods with healthy ones. In reality, he was consuming enormous amounts of sugar every day. Not from candy, not from soda, from fruit. The result was predictable. His blood sugar remained elevated for hours. His liver was forced to process massive amounts of fructose. His triglycerides continued rising, and despite his best intentions, his health markers moved in the wrong direction. Gerald's story isn't unusual. In fact, it's one of the most common patterns I see among older adults trying to improve their health. That's why today's video is so important. Because the issue isn't that fruit is bad. The issue is that some fruits are dramatically better than others when it comes to blood sugar control after 60. Let's begin with fruit number 1. Mango. Few fruits have a healthier reputation. It's colorful, delicious, packed with vitamins, and commonly promoted as a nutritious breakfast option. But a fully ripe mango can contain close to 50 grams of sugar. Think about that for a moment. Nearly 50 grams of sugar from a single fruit. The problem becomes even worse when mango is blended into smoothies. When fruit is blended, it's consumed much faster. Many people can drink the equivalent of 2 or 3 servings within minutes. That creates a large sugar load that enters the body very quickly. For older adults whose insulin sensitivity has already declined, that can result in a substantial glucose spike. Many people assume that because mango is natural, it must be harmless. Unfortunately, your bloodstream doesn't distinguish between natural sugar and added sugar. Sugar is sugar. And after 60, your body's ability to manage large amounts of it becomes significantly reduced. The next fruit may surprise you even more. Raisins. Raisins are often marketed as a healthy snack. They're portable. They're inexpensive. They're natural. They appear on countless healthy eating lists. But here's the hidden problem. When grapes are dried into raisins, most of the water is removed. The sugar remains. What you're left with is an incredibly concentrated source of sugar that can be consumed in very small portions without creating much fullness. That's why people often eat far more raisins than they realize. A handful becomes 2 handfuls. 2 handfuls become several servings. Before long, you've consumed an amount of sugar equivalent to multiple servings of fresh fruit. The body's response can be dramatic, especially in adults already struggling with blood sugar control. And because raisins carry such a healthy reputation, many people never suspect they're contributing to the problem. Before I reveal the next fruit on our list, I want you to participate. Tell me in the comments below, which fruit do you eat most often? Grapes? Mangoes? Bananas? Watermelon? Apples? I genuinely like to know. Your comment may help someone else recognize a habit they hadn't considered. And while you're typing your answer, keep listening carefully because the next fruit is one of the most misunderstood foods in the entire grocery store. Now let's continue with fruit number 3, and this one catches many people completely off guard. Dates. Especially medjool dates, the large, soft variety commonly found in grocery stores throughout America. Dates are often described as nature's candy, and that description is more accurate than most people realize. Many health influencers recommend them as a replacement for processed sweets. They contain minerals. They contain antioxidants. They are natural, but they are also loaded with sugar. The problem isn't necessarily eating one date occasionally. The problem begins when people assume that because dates are natural, they can eat several without consequences. 2 or 3 medjool dates after dinner can deliver a surprisingly large sugar load just before bedtime. For older adults dealing with insulin resistance, prediabetes, or type 2 diabetes, this can create elevated overnight glucose levels that quietly undermine blood sugar control. I've spoken with countless patients who proudly told me they had eliminated desserts from their diet, only to discover they were consuming just as much sugar through dates. Again, this doesn't mean dates are poison. It means they are often misunderstood. And misunderstanding food is one of the fastest ways to sabotage your health without realizing it. Fruit number 4 is watermelon. Now before anyone becomes upset, let me be clear. Watermelon can absolutely be enjoyed as part of a healthy diet. The issue isn't the fruit itself. The issue is portion size. Most people don't eat a carefully measured 1-cup serving. They eat large bowls, multiple slices at family gatherings, several cups during hot summer afternoons. Because watermelon is mostly water, it feels light and refreshing. That creates a false sense of safety. People often consume far more than they realize. The sugar enters the bloodstream rapidly because watermelon contains relatively little fiber compared to many other fruits. For someone with healthy metabolism, this may not be a major concern. But for older adults whose blood sugar regulation has already weakened, large servings can produce surprisingly high glucose spikes. Have you ever checked your blood sugar after a summer barbecue or family picnic? Many people are shocked by what they discover. Sometimes the biggest contributor isn't the burger or the potato salad. It's the giant bowl of watermelon they assumed was harmless. And now we arrive at fruit number 5, perhaps the most underestimated fruit on today's list. Grapes. The challenge with grapes isn't simply their sugar content. It's the way people eat them. Think about it. When was the last time you carefully measured a serving of grapes before eating them? Most people never do. They grab a handful while preparing dinner, another handful while watching television, another handful while cleaning the kitchen, another handful while talking on the phone. Unlike a banana or an apple, grapes don't have a natural stopping point. This encourages mindless eating. In food journals, people routinely underestimate how many grapes they've consumed. What feels like a light snack can easily become several servings. That means significantly more sugar than intended. Over time, these habits matter. Small choices repeated every day become major influences on blood sugar, body weight, inflammation, and metabolic health. Now, after hearing about these 5 fruits, you might be wondering something important. If these fruits can create problems, what should I eat instead? That's exactly the right question. Because the goal is not to eliminate fruit. The goal is to choose smarter fruit. Let's start with one of the best options available. Berries. Blueberries, blackberries, raspberries. These fruits provide antioxidants, vitamins, and fiber, while generally producing a much gentler blood sugar response. Raspberries are particularly impressive because they contain an exceptional amount of fiber. That fiber slows digestion and helps prevent rapid glucose spikes. Many researchers consider berries among the most blood sugar-friendly fruits available. In fact, replacing high-sugar fruits with mixed berries is one of the simplest changes older adults can make to support metabolic health. Another excellent option is the humble green apple. It may not be trendy. It may not appear on social media health lists every week. But it remains one of the smartest snack choices available. The fiber content helps create fullness. The natural structure slows eating. And when paired with a small amount of nuts or almond butter, it becomes even more satisfying. Pears deserve special attention as well. Despite being naturally sweet, pears contain valuable soluble fiber that helps support healthy digestion and blood sugar regulation. Many older adults discover that a pear satisfies sweet cravings better than highly processed desserts, while producing a much more stable glucose response. If tropical flavors are your favorite, consider papaya. Papaya offers sweetness and flavor, while typically producing a more favorable blood sugar response compared with ripe mango. It can be an excellent alternative for those who enjoy tropical fruit but want greater glucose stability. Cherries are another outstanding choice. They offer a similar snacking experience to grapes but generally contain less sugar per serving and more beneficial plant compounds. Many people find that replacing grapes with cherries is surprisingly easy. Now I want to share one of the most valuable tools you'll learn today. A simple method that takes less than 4 seconds. The next time you're looking at a nutrition label, don't focus only on total sugar. Instead, compare dietary fiber to total sugar. Think of fiber as your body's natural defense system. Fiber slows digestion. Fiber slows absorption. Fiber helps reduce dramatic glucose spikes. Generally speaking, fruits with more fiber relative to their sugar content tend to be friendlier for blood sugar management. This isn't a perfect rule, but it's one of the quickest ways to make smarter choices in the grocery store. Most people never look at this relationship. Once you start, you'll see fruits differently. Before we finish, I want to return to Gerald. After making several simple changes, removing the high-sugar fruits that dominated his daily routine and replacing them with more blood sugar-friendly options, something remarkable happened. Over the following months, his blood sugar improved. His fasting glucose decreased. His triglycerides dropped. His doctor was pleased with the progress. Most importantly, Gerald felt better. He had more energy, fewer afternoon crashes, better consistency throughout the day. Did fruit alone create all those changes? Of course not. Health is complex. Sleep matters. Exercise matters. Stress matters. Medications matter. But fruit choices played a far larger role than anyone initially realized. And that's the lesson I hope you take away from today's video. Healthy eating is not just about choosing foods that sound healthy. It's about understanding how those foods interact with your body at your current stage of life. What worked at May 30th not work at 70. What your neighbor tolerates may not be ideal for you. The more you understand your body's changing needs, the better decisions you can make. If you're over 60 and managing blood sugar, don't assume every fruit belongs on your plate in unlimited amounts. Pay attention. Be curious. Monitor how your body responds. Discuss these topics with your physician or registered dietitian. And remember, small adjustments repeated consistently can create powerful long-term results. If you found this video valuable, please click the like button and subscribe to the channel. It truly helps us reach more older adults who deserve access to practical, science-based health information. And now I'd love to hear from you. Which fruit surprised you the most today? Was it mango, raisins, dates, watermelon, or grapes? Share your answer in the comments below. I read as many comments as possible, and your experience may help someone else make a healthier choice. Thank you for spending this time with me. Take care of your health. Take care of the people you love. And remember, growing older is inevitable, but growing healthier is a choice we can make every single day. I'll see you in the next video.